So after UFC 319, when Khamzat Chimaev defeated Dricus du Plessis for the middleweight belt, we all thought that, wow, Khamzat Chimaev is probably going to destroy the entire UFC middleweight division. A lot of people were thinking this. A lot of even I was thinking this. Wow, if DDP couldn't do it, when we all thought DDP was the one that had the chance to, like the big chance out of everyone in the middleweight division to beat Khamzat Chimaev, no, and he lost, and now no one else is going to do it now. He just looks so unbeatable in that fight, and no one in the division is going to have a chance with him. Some might make it competitive, some might get ragdolled, but just the point is no one's going to beat Khamzat Chimaev. But the thing is, though, there is still somebody in the UFC middleweight division that can take Khamzat Chimaev 0. And people are probably wondering, oh yeah, but after that DDP performance, how could you even say anyone is even gonna like beat him? And I think people forget though, like a lot of us, I chose Dricus du Plessis to beat Khamzat Chimaev. And yes, I was obviously wrong, and I should have paid attention to the fact that Robert Whitaker took him down pretty easily, and Derek Brunson got his back pretty easily, and he didn't have I should have seen he was not on Khamzat Chimaev's grappling skill. I should have seen that, and I just got blinded by the fact that Kamaru Usman and Gilbert Burns almost took Chimaev to his breaking point. If it went to around 4 or 5, and just knowing that DDP was in this fight with him for 5 rounds, I thought DDP could bring Khamzat Chimaev to his breaking point, and he'll get. I thought he'd probably. I thought he'd survive the grappling of Chimaev. I thought he'd make into a dogfight with him, and I thought he'd break him in round 4 or 5. I had him winning by a round 4 TKO. I thought that's how it was going to go, but DDP, I completely did not ignore the fact that about all that other stuff, and he was just not on the grappling skill of Khamzat Chimaev. But there is one guy in this division there's still hope in this middleweight division that can beat Khamzat Chimaev. There is still that one fighter, and that one fighter is Anthony Hernandez. I think Anthony Hernandez will be the one to take Khamzat Chimaev's undefeated record. It could happen very soon. Khamzat Chimaev is probably going to be most likely, this should be definitely the next fight, Nasruddin Imavov. Khamzat Chimaev versus Nasruddin Imavov next. And Anthony Hernandez will probably fight a Sean Strickland or a Dricus du Plessis next, one of the two. And if they both win their next fights, this is the one to make. And I think Anthony Hernandez is the fighter. I think I am most confidently sure that he is the fighter in this division to beat Khamzat Chimaev, and here's why. First off, like I said earlier in the video, Dricus du Plessis, a lot of us had him winning. I thought I had him also winning by a round 4 TKO, but his grappling skills, like it just didn't match up to Khamzat Chimaev's, and that was just it. A lot of people said, "Oh yeah, Khamzat Chimaev's cardio was like you'd see how much it improved in that fight." Yeah, Khamzat's cardio probably did improve, but not as much as people think. Because first off, in that fight with DDP, Khamzat Chimaev was just he was on him, like doing what he wanted to for 5 rounds. Basically, the entire fight, he took DDP down, held him down where he wanted to. Very dominant performance, and it didn't really make Khamzat Chimaev lose a bunch of energy doing that. It's not like with a Gilbert Burns or a Kamaru Usman where they actually made it into a fight, like a big fight with Khamzat Chimaev, and they actually started to break him, but it was just too late. The three rounds ended. Khamzat Chimaev won, but yeah, the DDP couldn't do that because he was just getting held down the entire fight, while Usman and Burns were able to give adversity to Khamzat Chimaev on the ground and cause him to gas. And I think Anthony Hernandez Anthony Hernandez would be the one to do it to Khamzat Chimaev as well. He's not like a DDP. Anthony Hernandez's grappling is way better than DDP has good submissions, but Anthony Hernandez, an all-around grappler, is better than Dricus du Plessis. We saw how he was in the Brandon Allen fight. He looked great in the grappling against Brandon Allen. Brandon Allen's main thing is grappling. We saw what he did with Rainer de Ritter, broke him on the ground. What he did to Paul Craig. Brandon Allen has beaten really good grapplers. And Anthony Hernandez, absolutely, he schooled him for 3 rounds when it came to the grappling. Anthony Hernandez beat him. And I think if he fought a Khamzat Chimaev, he wouldn't just get held down like that by DDP, like DDP did. Anthony Hernandez would be able to get out of those bad positions, get back up on the feet, and like I said before, he's the middleweight Marab. Anthony Hernandez is the middleweight Marab, and I think he's the perfect fighter in a 5-round fight to beat Chimaev. This is what's probably would happen if they fought. Chimaev would win, I think, the first 2 rounds, like he usually does. Like in the Burns and Usman fight, he won the first 2 rounds when it came to the judges' scorecards. And then in that round 3, they just start making it into a dogfight with Khamzat Chimaev. Anthony Hernandez can make it into a dogfight as well. He isn't just gonna like sit back and just try to like, hit shots from range. He's gonna actually go in and make it into a dogfight with Khamzat Chimaev in that round 3. And if it goes to around 4 or 5, I think that's where he can finally make him reach his breaking point. And we saw how he did that with all these other fighters. He just doesn't lose energy. His cardio is levels above fighters in this middleweight division. Like I said, he's a middleweight Marab. We saw it in the Mikel Pereira fight. Mikel Pereira was beating him in that first round pretty clearly. The body kicks and everything. Hernandez just kept on going with the pressure. Ended up just like mauling Mikel Pereira throughout those other rounds. TKO'd him in round 5. The Roman Dolidze fight, one of the best performances I've ever seen, just dominated him and submitted him in round 4. The unending pressure by Anthony Hernandez just doesn't stop. And then the Roman Kopylov fight. Roman Kopylov's a very good striker, and Anthony Hernandez was just pressuring the hell out of him. He just didn't stop. And we saw Roman Kopylov was defending takedowns good until like the middle of round 2. He got taken down, and the pressure finally got to him, and Hernandez got the submission win. And I do think that's what probably happened to Khamzat Chimaev. I don't think that he'd get submitted by Hernandez. I do think Hernandez would be able to get a TKO on him in round 4 or 5. I honestly think that. Just Chimaev, I think he'd be very gassed, and then Hernandez just keeps going, keeps putting on the pressure, and then beats Khamzat Chimaev by a TKO, standing up. Referee stops the fight, and I could see that happening. We all thought DDP was going to be the one to do it because of what we saw in the Burns and Usman fight, but he just wasn't the same like those guys. Burns and Usman are very elite grapplers. They're very elite. DDP has good grappling, but not on the level as them. When Khamzat Chimaev, those are the guys he took. Those are the first 2 guys that Khamzat Chimaev took to a decision. The ones who had really good grappling and could show adversity to him. And that's when he started getting gas, and that's when he started having he started making into dogfights with them, and that's when he kind of looked like he was starting to crumble. Chimaev was getting wobbled against Burns. Chimaev was getting wobbled against Usman. Against those guys, when he can have a dogfight, but at the end of it, he doesn't really get the good part out of it. Doug, he gets hit a lot, gets wobbled, and I think Anthony Hernandez, when it comes to those situations, we saw how it was with him pressuring Roman Kopylov and all that stuff. He can take good striking. He can handle his own on the feet, I think, better than Chimaev. He can handle it better, handle shots better. He can handle his own better on the feet than Khamzat Chimaev. And yeah, I just think that's how it'll go. I think he'll just go. He'll lose the first 2, go and then start to put on that dogfight on Khamzat, start to put on the fight on him in round 3, then just continue to like round 4 and slowly start to just break him. And then Chimaev will just be too gassed, and then Hernandez will just piece him up. And then I think it's going to be like a Sean Brady, Bilal Muhammad incident where Bilal was just, putting so much pressure on Sean Brady, and the referee just stopped the fight on the feet, and that's what's going to happen. I don't think Hernandez will KO him. Will because Hernandez, I don't think has the best power. He doesn't have the best, but he has good volume, and I think that's what's going to break Khamzat Chimaev in the 4th or the 5th round. And yeah, that's why I think he'll beat him. I think he is the one in this division to beat Khamzat Chimaev. And yeah, well, that is the end of my video, guys, today. Hope you guys enjoyed. Please like and subscribe. Stay tuned for the next video, and peace out.